Christianity has achieved very little for almost a century, and the faith cannot continue for much longer. Lately, no one is in charge of Western moral fiber, and unless something is done about it, the West will collapse like a pricked balloon. And Judaism is just as bad as Christianity, except that Judaism is not subject to constant sniping from atheist academics such as Professor Richard Dawkins, Chris Hitchens, and company. The Ten Commandments are about deeds, not beliefs. After all, they are commandments and not philosophies. Jesus was aware of this, and when he attacked the rabbis for their endless waffling instead of commandments, they had him murdered. But Jesus knew that the commandments called for actions, not beliefs, and Matthew 23 records how he let fly at the rabbis for their endless talk about beliefs rather than deeds. And even to the present day, the rabbis still waffle about beliefs and philosophies, just as Jesus detested. So if we look closely at Dawkins and company, we find that they are always attacking beliefs rather than actions. The church has always told people what to believe, not what to do, just like the ancient rabbis, and both the church and synagogue have never stopped, even now. Matthew 23 shows how the rabbis angered Jesus, and just as they do now, they hunted high and low for weak-minded victims and turned them into brain-dead idiots, twice as useless as they themselves. This is what Jesus said. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Christianity is still doing what Jesus did not want. The church is trying to compete with the left, which is always spewing philosophy about what people should believe instead of what they should do. So unless the Christians start obeying Jesus, they will make it easy for the left to bring down the entire Western world. The church is not helping and never has. The Ten Commandments are about actions, not beliefs, and the rabbis would not allow Jesus to say so. They are the same today, which is why the Jews are still so useless. In fact, the rabbinical torrent of words rather than deeds is what finally drove Adolf Hitler off his head. The Jews never understood the Nazis and still don't, which is why they cannot get rid of anti-Semitism. Jesus wanted the commandments of the covenant to guide the Jews, rather than the philosophical trash of the rabbis. He wanted the Jews to follow God and not the rabbis. Christianity failed to do better with high-sounding beliefs. It is much easier to talk about beliefs than it is about actions. If one wants to talk about actions, one needs knowledge and information, and this is where the left can be defeated. It may shock the Christian clergy to be accused of opposing the wishes of Jesus, but that is precisely what they have always done. They keep harping on belief, which Jesus did not want. The Ten Commandments is a set of instructions, not beliefs. People are sick and tired of being told what to believe. They want to know what to do, and when the church stops its philosophy and concentrates on moral values, the results will be astounding. The same thing applies to the Jews. If they can get their rabbis out of the way, the nation will be able to achieve great things, rather than walking around looking ridiculous and worshiping rabbinical garbage. And the Gentiles need to carry out the commandments, as Jesus kept saying. Jesus never wanted to be worshipped. He just wanted the Jews to observe the commandments, which the rabbis would not allow, and still don't. Please click on the subscribe button and become part of the effort to carry out the Ten Commandments. Paul Kaplan, author.